Hi, Bertha. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
That's
How are you?
good. How's it in Berlin right now?
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold.
Really?
So,
Oh,
but I'm
we
sure it's the same in New York, right?
no, we're having some decent weather.
Okay, that's good. That's
Yes, in the 60s and the upper 50s. Very unusual this time of year.
okay, okay, okay.
So we're
Yeah, it's
enjoying.
kind of the the global warming thing is having its effect now,
Yes,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for participating. Before I go into the formal questions, tell us a little bit about yourself and the art that you make and the works you curate.
Yeah. Well, I'm an artist curator from Iceland, now living in Berlin. And I work on my art and my curating simultaneously, although I have to say I'm more attending to my curating these days. And I've been doing this and that. I've been fortunate to work in museums and private collections and galleries, mostly in Iceland. And now I'm freelancing as a curator, which is kind of a new chance I'm taking here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, working on different things. Because of my background, I've of course, my kind of knowledge of the Icelandic art scene is greatest part of my occupation.
Mm-hmm.
As an artist, I've been mostly occupied with the mediums of photography and video and installation, and doing so mostly through making a self-portraiture.
Okay.
So that's sort of, you could say, the anchor of my artistic background or my artistic process. Yeah.
Well, in fact, that leads into my question, because my first question to you is in observing your work, that you are primarily the subject of a lot of your photography work, self-portraits. And so I wanted to ask you, what it means for you to do these self-portraits. And then I wanted to ask you, what did you think of the portraits that Patrick has done that we shared with you via online for the African burial ground?
Yeah. It's a very strange, I think, sort of subject to choose, I guess, because it has these connotations to narcissism,
Mm-hmm.
to egoistic sort of means. But to me, I've always seen self-portraiture as a way as a performative action, really. Whether it's made through painting, through photography, like in my case,
Mm-hmm.
or any other medium, because it is a sort of it is, you're exploring yourself, but then again,
Right.
I think, as goes for any artist, you're exploring yourself through the other, or you're exploring the other through yourself somehow. So I think there is always a healthy dose of objectivity at the same time happening for artists to choose to sort of use themselves as subject. And it's through that, definitely, that I can connect to Patrick's work, even though he is more occupied with making portraiture of others than himself.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it has this connection of observing.
Yes.
And definitely observing, let's say, everything from movement, from even smell and small gestures, and the way you situate yourself in a crowd, or in the bus, or however you sort of bodily express yourself. I think that is something that is very strong, comes across very strongly to me in his works, or through his works, that he seems to be observing people through his action of making portraiture.
Okay.
So that sort of the artist, to me, it seems like that has already become a part of his daily life, or his daily life. Sort of, it becomes this the same two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think there's someone, because I looked at his website also, and someone had commented on his work, saying that he what was it again? He puts a mirror. How is it again? I have to look for it because I really like the quotation.
Like he almost mirrors the lives of the people.
Yeah. Oh, I really have to find it. But anyhow, I urge people to look for it.
Okay.
As, a mirror maker or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is some quality in this, in putting people's attention on all kinds of different things. And this is something artists can do so well, and this is something that politicians can do sometimes well, and many others, to put people's focus on different things they might not otherwise have observed. And it seems to me like he is like a world traveler.
Yes.
Who observes in this way and feels the need to document and to bring his travels, perhaps, and explorations across through portraiture. And I think it's always, to me, I always look at it as a kind of a dialogue with art history.
Okay. Well, then it goes into my next question, and that is the use of color. Because I know with a lot of your works, most of your backgrounds, they're very dark. Where with Patrick, he uses a lot of colors. And then I thought of, older portraits and different art movements and periods where darker colors are used. So I saw that connection with your works. But with Patrick's, it's all about vibrant colors. And so I just wanted your perspective as an artist and a curator. How did you feel about his usage of all of those different colors with his portraits?
Yeah, I think this one, again, to me, I'm thinking of the difference of medium. For example, I think it's a very sort of, well, you can always say something is painterly when it's regarding a painting, right? That's kind of too general. But to me, it's a kind of a painterly still, I guess there's something he seems to want to quite realistically still to bring across. Mm-hmm. And I think, as for reading, he has been traveling in many countries in Africa, and to me it's sort of a certain kind of warmth. I'm speaking, for example, just in terms of degree, in terms of the sun, basically. Mm-hmm. I think to me that's how I experience the light and the colors really as well in his works, and when juxtaposing to my own work, I guess it's to do with the medium a lot. Okay. Because I feel like maybe he has this touch of his paintings are not like super realistic. I mean, they have their own poetics about them, and he seems to use. I mean, he's sort of combining, let's say, even minimalistic gestures, keeping a large part of the canvas single color, or sort of playing with the space in the canvas, within the canvas, but still has, to me, this kind of photographic connection. Mm-hmm. And for me, using photographs and then citing or reflecting on the history of photography, it's actually for me more interesting to do the opposite, to reflect on the history of painting. In fact,
okay.
So it's, your comment on the sort of background, the dark backgrounds, and in illuminating the person more so, or thus more so. I think has everything to, in my case, everything to do with a dialogue with painterly history,
yes.
Actually.
Okay.
So you could say it's a kind of like again, sort of a positive, negative reflection.
Yes.
Of one another, which is interesting for me to think about. And actually with all, I have, of course, as an artist, become a real fan of portraiture per se. It's like drawn to it, really drawn to it.
Okay.
So it's very, very nice to have the chance to see his work, for example, which I'd never seen before.
Okay, great. So my last question to you is, what are you hoping to do in 2012 that we can look forward to seeing?
Oh, well, I would hope some part of it will take place in the States, hopefully in New York, but I don't know. But at the moment, I'm sort of working more in Europe. I'm working now on, I'm always very excited about everything I'm doing. That's how lucky I am. But I'm working now on a couple of shows. Many of them are with the same artists, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of excited as a curator to work with the same artists and sort of build up
yes.
A group, a language between ourselves, and a kind of a strength to multiply our own qualities, let's say, in a collaborative way. And I just I curated a show in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Oh, wow.
With some Icelandic artists, and actually which was a part of a Nordic group exhibition. And I'm continuing to collaborate with those artists from Iceland on a show in the State Museum of Kaunas in Lithuania.
Okay.
Yeah, which is highly interesting.
Yes.
It used to be the capital of Lithuania, and has a very interesting, very also complex history in itself, with in terms of the wars in Europe and the opening of Europe and their own independence in the 90s and so on and so on.
Yes.
And then I'm working on something which is actually will take place as in the form of an exhibition in 2013 in Iceland, but starting next spring to gather artists to a small fjord in Iceland, basically to study together and find out and speak to people, find out about myths and
sea monsters.
And sea monsters. I think I'm a little bit reluctant to say the word.
I find it fascinating.
So do I.
Well,
yeah, we start diving into the myth of all myths.
Okay.
The creatures we never see that surround our seas. And we start there. We start by trying to find them with some divers, actually.
Okay.
And, who knows where this will end? Maybe in therapy.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much, Birta, for talking with me, discussing Patrick's work, and I really look forward to us developing a curatorial relationship in the future.
Me too, my pleasure.
All right, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.